Now, let's get to a story that we teased you with yesterday concerning tolls. Oh, yes, we do love talking about tolls. Tolls for the new I-5 bridge between Portland and Vancouver. Now, we've been telling you for months to expect tolls on the new bridge once it's built. But last night, we found out that there are plans to put tolls on the old bridges while construction is underway on the new ones. And our team only found that out because of some good old-fashioned journalism. Anthony Masuk, a digital reporter for our team who's been following the bridge project for years, noticed a funding change in a new report that we told you about last night, showing the price tag for the project was increased from an estimated $4 billion to around $6 billion. Big chunk. Basically, a report from 2020 said the new bridge would collect between $850 million and $1.3 billion in toll revenue. But a fact sheet for the new estimated cost of the project showed toll revenue between $1.25 billion and $1.6 billion. Anthony is a very sharp guy. He thought that was curious. He interviewed the administrator of the Interstate Bridge Replacement Program, who said they didn't know yet how much tolls will be, but their placeholder numbers are between $2 and $4. And those numbers had not changed between the 2020 report and the new fact sheet. And that simply did not add up. If the revenue went up, but the toll amount had not changed, what did change? Something. Where was the extra $300 million coming from? So Anthony started sleuthing, looking for an explanation. It turned out the answer was not in the fact sheet for the new report, but in the original report from 2020. That report assumed the tolling would not start until the new bridge was up and running. Makes sense. You're now paying for a new bridge that you're crossing. But it also said that if tolling started on the old bridges while the new one was still being built, well, that would rake in some extra tolling bucks. How much more? Well, according to that 2020 report, up to, wait for it, $300 million. So Anthony contacted the project office asking if that was indeed the plan to put tolls on the old bridge during the construction. And guess what? Yes, that is exactly the plan. That's what the new financial assumes. Their term for it is pre-completion tolling, which hopefully makes you feel better. So yes, you could be paying for a new bridge for potentially years before you're actually able to drive on it. Now, we don't know when those tolls would start, but construction on the new bridge is slated to begin in late 2025, so they could be installed around then. Be ready. You heard it here first. And you had strong views concerning the impending tolls over the Columbia, but let's get to some of your comments here. We got one from a business owner who said he'll be forced to raise his prices in order to cover the tolling cost to his operation.
Hello, my name is Mike, and I own a local plumbing business that a lot of people in both Vancouver and Portland use. And the thought that they're just going to tax the people driving across the bridge is asinine, and people should not buy into it. If we as a business get charged every time that we have to drive back and forth across the bridge, then those rates go up to everybody that we're doing work for.
Well, that sounds like fun. Another viewer said she won't mind the tolls as long as the new bridge helps her feel safer when driving high above the river.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and I live in Vancouver, and I just saw the story about the Columbia River crossing, about a new bridge. And I don't care if I have to pay a toll to go back and forth because I just want a new bridge. Please let me have one before I die. I don't want to have to keep holding my breath every time I go across the old bridge, hoping there's not an earthquake and that I fall into the Columbia River.
Valid concern. Cross our fingers. But the rest of you took a different approach, not totally for tolls, but really not railing against them either. We'll call this the deal with it viewpoint. Mike says, cry and whine. We need a new bridge. We all need it, and we all have to pay for it. A toll must be a portion of the cost recovery. This is part of being a member of our collective society. Get used to it. The alternative of not replacing the bridge simply is not a solution. And Cheryl agrees, writing, grow up, folks. You want all sorts of services, but you don't want to pay for it. You can't get something for nothing. A few of you Oregonians are pleased that people from Washington will have to start coughing up money for Oregon's bank account. Dean says, love the idea of charging Washington folks to come visit. I come from a state where you pay for the bridges you cross. Not rocket science. I have always believed that Washington folks should just stay and pay the sales tax rather than wearing out my roads and making me stand in long lines at stores because they just come over for free. I think that's a sales tax comment. And Peggy went on, all these Vancouverites who have driven over that bridge to purchase products free from tax ought to think about how much money Oregon has saved them. A lot of strong comments there. Well, what do you think about all this? Do you agree with those viewpoints that we just shared or not? Whatever, send us your thoughts or alternatives. You can send us an email. The address is thestory@kgw.com, or you can leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090.